have started with chapter number 3, that is group behavior. In today's session, we will be talking about what is a group, what are different characteristics of a group, what are different types of group, and how groups are formed in organizations. Now, a group is defined as two or more individuals who come together and they interact and are interdependent. They come together to achieve different objectives. In organizations, most of the work is done in a group, and that is why we are going to understand group and how groups are formed. As we all know, groups are where people get along with each other very well. They contribute to the group either by their knowledge, opinions, or their efforts. They coordinate with each other to perform certain tasks, and they have a common goal or a purpose where they can influence each other and have a sense of camaraderie. Now, groups have different characteristics. And what are those characteristics? So first of all, first characteristic is that there is an interaction. Several people are together interacting or doing the work together. The people of a group are connected by ways of shared activity or interest. So their activity has to be something which is common and a common interest. A group has a common goal, or people of the group have a common goal or purpose or the ideas. There is a constant interaction, coordination between the people of the group. Now, when groups are formed, then definitely there are agreements as well as disagreements among the members of the group, and also decisions are taken together. All group members contribute in different amounts to the group processes and purpose. Now, there are different types of groups, and particularly as far as organizations are concerned, there are two types of groups. One is the formal group and another is the informal group. So as far as informal group is concerned, we know that formal group is formed by way of organizational structure, and the informal group is something which forms naturally due to various reasons. So first of all, let us understand the formal groups. Now, there are two types of formal groups. The first formal group is called the command group. Now, this command group is a hierarchical group in the organization. They are formed of individuals who directly report to one manager. Now, these groups are permanent and they involve interaction as they are formed for the work purpose. For example, all sales executive reporting to a sales manager forms a command group. So everyone in a particular department or a division forms a command group because they have come together formally for a particular task or a purpose. Now, the second type of group is the task group. Now, these groups are formed in the organization only to complete a particular task. So people may come together from different divisions, departments, or we can say from different command groups and form a new group which is a task group. They come together in order to accomplish a particular task, and these task groups may be temporary. For example, if there is an educational institute and there is a cultural program that has to be conducted, then professors coming from different departments for coordination purpose with the students makes the task group. So this is how there are two formal groups, that is command group and task group. Though the task group is not formally designed in the structure, still it is formal because it is formed for the organizational purpose and to achieve a certain goal. Now let us understand what are the informal groups. Now, informal groups are generally formed for social needs of the employees. An employee may not have the similar kind of people in their own department or division or in their own formal group, and so they tend to make groups either within the division or department or outside the division or department. So these are called the informal groups. Informal groups are not formed for organizational purpose or any task. Rather than that, they are only formed for individual purposes. So the first type of informal group is the interest group. Now this type of group is formed by people of different organizational structure or different divisions who come together for a specific interest where there is a common concern. For example, when employees come together to support a colleague who has been done an injustice or to get together to get their working conditions improved. So such groups come together from different departments or divisions for common concern or for common interest. These groups are formed by individuals from different hierarchy and they may be temporary groups. Second type of informal group is the friendship group. Now, friendship groups are formed when there are common characteristics between the individuals. Irrespective of the organizational structure, people come together for their need of social contact. For example, groups with common favorite musical band or groups which have interest in a common sport or some activity or groups of similar age or ethnic heritage. These people come together and fulfill their social needs. Such groups usually extend even outside the work situation or outside the organization. So these are the various types of groups in the organization which are broadly classified as formal and informal. Now, how the groups are formed? Let us understand that. So there are 5 stages of formation of groups. The group formation starts with the first stage, which is called forming. Now at this stage, there is uncertainty about the goal of the group and the role of each individual. But the individual join the groups to first observe and learn what they are supposed to do. Now at this stage, there is some kind of confusion within the individuals, but they are trying to figure out that why they have come together. This stage is complete when the members get clarity or when they begin to think themselves as the part of the group. The second stage of formation of group is storming. Now once people have become the part of the group and they have accepted themselves as the part of one group, there is the next stage which is characterized by intergroup conflict. This is called storming. Once they have accepted the group, now they may have resistance because there are certain constraints due to the group. When groups are formed, group creates a constraint over an individual, and because of that constraint, there will be resistance. Now again, there will be different suggestions from individuals which require agreement of all the members, and at such a point of time, there is a conflict in the group. So this stage is called a storming stage. This stage gets complete when a clear hierarchy of leadership in the group is defined after a lot of agreement and disagreements. The next stage is norming. Now in this stage of group development, the group members start feeling cohesiveness and close relationships. Despite of the different differences they may have, they start feeling as the part of the group. This stage is characterized by the recognition of individual differences and their shared expectations. Having gone through the previous stage, that is storming, this stage comes into existence, because after storming there comes an acceptance, and after acceptance everyone understands that they have their shared goals or shared expectations out of the group, and that is why they need to adjust within the group. So in this stage, cooperative efforts start beginning and responsibilities are divided. Again, at this stage, the group decides how the progress will be evaluated. Now, after the norming stage, there will be the performing stage. So, at this stage, the group will become fully functional. And the last stage or the final stage of group formation is adjourning. Now, this stage exists only when there are groups which are temporary. This stage is characterized by wrapping up of the activities and people separate and do their own individual work or join their own other organizational structure or move ahead in their life with other groups. So this is how groups are there in the organizations because of various purposes, but mainly there are formal purpose and informal purposes, and these two, formal and informal, also have two different types of groups. So this is how group play a very important part in an organization, and there are various stages of formation of group. So I hope you have understood what I have taught you in this session. Thank you.